if I traded it all, if I
Welcome back, everyone. My next guest has also been on my show once before. It's a while now. I have with me Vicki Pullie Stokes, and she is you're a business coach, but you're a coach for almost anyone, really. You focus on what?
I focus specifically on career. So I'm a certified career coach. I also help businesses as a result of working with my clients. They need placement, so that then in exchange helps businesses as well. But my primary focus is individual clients and career coaching.
I'll tell you something. A lot of people need that, and you have to listen up because a lot of people out there have had things happen to them. Ever since that crash happened,
Yes.
it really changed our life, our lifestyle, or how we do things. And even people who were going to retire that aren't retired anymore, or got retired and said, I can't do it, or I thought I could retire and I don't want to retire, so many different things. Tell them a little bit about you, because you're coaching them, so they got to hear about you.
Sure.
So tell them a little about yourself, too.
So I am uniquely qualified because I worked my whole entire career in human resources, and that's the terrain that individuals need to navigate in order to be successful in their careers. Not only do they have to navigate it while they're an applicant trying to secure a job, but then once they're in with a company that they enjoy working for, they then have to navigate it to climb the ladder, to be promoted, to get experiences, to be seen as a leader. So that uniquely qualifies me because I worked my whole entire career in that area and saw it from the other side that they don't get to see. So I can help them and then in turn help the businesses to get highly engaged candidates. Because when people are doing what they want to do, what they have been placed here on earth to do, they are highly engaged. They wake up every morning wanting to go into work and solve the problems and be successful.
There's also nothing like having somebody who knows the ins and outs of an HR department, who's helping you with your resume, because she's going to know what that needs to be on there, right?
Yes,
what
correct.
they're looking for. That's important. We're also live on Facebook, so I want to say hi to everybody out there that's watching us. Like us. Also, you can call in for anything that you're see, hear, or hear about that. You're going to do a giveaway. What's your giveaway?
My giveaway is going to be a $100 free coaching session, and it's going to be targeted around helping people to raise their self-awareness by ascertaining what their strengths are, which helps in your career. It helps in the interview process because you are fluent in how you can explain to a company what value you will bring to them.
Yeah, so now you're going to give them, it's a 1-hour coaching session. It's a $100 value, free to you or anyone you know. So we're going to leave our lines open here for everybody. Again, you can call in throughout the rest of the show for all of these things. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You can check her out on her website. It's Vicki, V-I-C-K-I. And it's Pullie, P-U-L-L-I-E, Stokes, which is STOKES.com. Now, what I'm going to say is here, call in here and just get the information, get this free session, because it could be invaluable to you to have this information from her to get you to where you want to be. Maybe it's through the holidays that you have to do something, or starting off at the first of the year, or maybe getting that job before the holidays, which would be awesome. Okay, so I want to talk about some other things. Why are you the most logical choice to help others explore their career options? Just because you know HR?
Well, there's another thing, too.
There has to be.
Yes. So I actually have been through several of the career events that happen to individuals during the employment life cycle. So, for instance, I've been promoted. I've had progressive responsibility on my jobs. I've actually gone through reorganizations and downsizings. I actually started my own business. So all the things that I've worked in different industries, I've taken lateral moves to deepen my experience. So all the things that happen to you in your career transactionally, I have really experienced myself. So it helps me.
You walk the talk.
Yes, I walk the talk. And, I know both sides of it. I know the emotions that come along with that. When you've been downsized, I know what that feels like, and I know how to help you rebound from that and see that more as a reinvention period rather than having those feelings of loss.
That's
that sometimes
awesome
come.
Because you need that.
Yes.
And, especially when you feel like you're hitting your head against the wall. and it feels like you're just not going anywhere. And especially is that she can relate to you, the person that might need this. Now, we've got our lines open here. You're getting a 1-hour coaching session. That's $100 value free to you. Our number here, 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You can also call her direct if you want. She will help you. That number, you do free consultations
I
with
do.
people? Yep. So the number is 623-242-9786, or call in here and get the $100 free coaching session at 602-277-5369. Okay, so what types of career opportunities and events are you referring to for people?
So I mentioned those earlier, the promotions, the lateral moves, the career change, changing industries. It's good to reinforce it again, just so people understand that those things happen to a lot of people. I'll talk specifically about one of the seasons that you go through, the reinvention season. So that normally happens mid to late career. It can unfortunately sometimes be voluntary or involuntary, and it tends to be the tsunami season of people's careers because they get hit with things that they're not expecting. Mm-hmm. So maybe they haven't prepared. Maybe they've been working for the same company for 10 years and they haven't prepared to change jobs, prepared to change industries. That's where someone like myself, a certified career coach, comes into play, where I can help you kind of erase that 10-year period that you didn't market yourself. I can help you quickly understand how to brand yourself in the marketplace and how to successfully move on to another career.
Who's your typical client?
On a continuum, can I talk about this in the 3 phases that I have broken down the employment life cycle? This is how I work with clients. So the first phase is called preparation, and that's the younger clients who 5 years experience on their job. They're still learning about themselves. They're still getting lots of experience. They're raising their self-awareness, and they're really getting to know decision makers at the companies that they work for so that they can position themselves to ascend in those companies. So that's one group of individuals. They have 5 years or less experience, helping them to really be the architect of their own careers and to position themselves well. The second phase is called acceleration, and those are people who 5 to 15 years that are moving quickly up through their companies. They're trying to seek promotions. They've got their education. Those individuals would probably be my largest number of clients, because they're also asking themselves bigger questions, Carol. They're saying, okay, is this what I want to continue to do for the balance of my career? And so I have modules that will help them solidify that through determining their life purpose, saying, okay, yes, let me stay on this track, or let me try to get on another track. And then the last phase I already mentioned, which is the reinvention phase, that happens mid to late career, where you may need to literally retool your skill set and rebrand yourself.
I had to reinvent myself in order to stay alive. A lot of people do. And,
exactly.
And it's not easy. That's, I think, what the hardest thing is trying to figure out. And having somebody like Vicki there for you to help you is incredible for that, because you can actually assess with them what would be the best for them. And sometimes it's hard to find that out yourself, that you know that within.
Yeah, well, the good thing is most of our skill sets will translate into 10 different career fields. A lot of people don't know that. Like, they think, oh, well, I've got 7 years experience doing this, so I've got to stay with that. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of those skill sets. In general, we can do 10 other different things that our skills will, but you just have to know how to position yourself in the marketplace.
Very important.
Yeah.
So we've got her phone number here is 623-242-9786, and you can call her direct. She always does free consultations with everyone. And also, you could check out her website. It's Vicki Pullie Stokes, which is Vicki. Pullie is Pullie, Stokes, Stokes.com. And I've got my lines open here. We're going to keep them open for the rest of the show. To get the 1-hour coaching session, it's $100 value, free to you or anyone you know. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100.
For trading it all
Welcome back. We are talking with Vicki Pullie Stokes, and we have our lines open here. Career coaching, a very important thing now today. A lot of people have found themselves in a situation. Maybe you're not happy with what you're doing. A lot of people are like that. So we have our lines open here for you to call in and get it's $100 value free to you. It's a 1-hour coaching session with her. Find out where you might really what might make you happier for the rest of your life, or for a long time anyway. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. So you're talking about your top 3 ways you can help people. Let's kind of zero back on that for 1 minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you just mentioned the large percent of people who are disengaged. There's about 70%, unfortunately, on an annual basis that are not satisfied in the work that they do, which we all know bleeds over into your personal life because we spend so much time working. So one of the benefits is getting clear on your life purpose and helping you to chart a clear course for setting up your goals and achieving those goals, and removing barriers and not making it seem so daunting, because it isn't daunting if you've seen it from the other side. So that's one thing. Another summary point would be to actually help people to grow their leadership skills, because all companies want people who can solve problems and be leaders, and so helping people to grow that skill set is another way. And then lastly, it would be that group of people who need to rebrand and actually sell themselves to the marketplace once again.
Oh, it's a big part of the people that are, well, there's part of the baby boomers out there that, let's say they got offset in 2000 and what is it, 10, whatever
Yes.
it was. I cannot tell you how many people I know that are in their 50s on up that are just finding it hard to get a job. It used to be done a certain way,
Yes.
and it's not done that way anymore at all.
Yes.
And no fault to their own. There's not their fault in any way. And some of them are very, very capable.
Yes.
But they don't get jobs, and they're out of work for a long time, and they end up, so many of them end up either working as like a night guard or, something like that, because that's there, and those kinds of places thrive on this because they're putting themselves in doing something like that because they think they don't have anywhere else to go.
And it could be a small little tweak, so they a company's not getting the benefit of their experiences and wisdom just because the new process, the new way to apply for a job is electronic, and they don't know what keywords to use to get through that electronic screening, where a person may not be handling that at all. It's going through a system. So that's a small minor thing that I can help them overcome so that their skills and experiences and wisdom can be utilized by a company once again.
Now, again, we've got our lines open here for everyone that is calling in, and you are getting a $100 session with her. It's a 1-hour session. That's free to you. Our number here, 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about how you can help your clients uncover their life purpose, because wow, how many people, that's a lot to say, that so how do you do that?
So one of the ways that we do that is we go through an exploration of their passions. We look at the parts of their job and their life that they currently enjoy, things that they do in their spare time, what they naturally do well as their greatest successes and the lessons that they've learned. And also causes that they champion, things that they're passionate about, even philanthropically. And then one real big question that people don't ask themselves is, if they couldn't fail, what would they do? And so we explore that question as well. If you had no risk of failure, what would you do? And that whole endeavor produces invaluable information, and it really puts my clients on a path to develop a plan where they can move towards what their passions are.
So I think that's really neat. Do you do an assessment with them, or do you, when you talk to them? Because I think a lot of people, they don't know how to find that out even within themselves. So it's hard for them. They may not even know what their passion is, or they may not realize what their passion is. It might be something that they do as a hobby, and they don't even realize that that is a passion. And sometimes a hobby can turn into a career.
Yes, you made a key point just now, Carol, when you said within themselves. So there's a couple different ways that we do it, because right brain people are different than left brain people. So for those that are more creative, they do some meditation exercises because they have the ability to go within and pull out information about what it is what direction they should be heading. Whereas left-brained people that do more of answering questions, more of an exercise to help them determine and drill down the themes that emerge when they answer questions.
Right. I guess I would probably be, I know for me, I like to have something in front of me, the questions.
Yes.
Because then it triggers my mind as something that we go, oh yeah, maybe I would like something like that. It just triggers things to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I've had clients who they look at the written version of it and they think, oh, this will be easy. So they put it away and they work on it right before we meet, and then they tell me, oh my goodness, that was so much harder than what I thought, because I never actually have asked myself those types of questions before.
So you have them do this work not with you.
Right.
So that's something that they have to do by themselves.
They do it independently,
Okay.
and then we come back together and we discuss it, and then with that group session, we help I help them to determine what that life purpose is.
How many times do you find that people procrastinate, which obviously you just said you had a meeting. How long do you give them to do it?
Usually just a couple of days.
So you only have a couple of days, and then you said some people put it off, right, to
Yes.
the last second. Hey, that's no big deal. I'll just do it an hour before I go in to see her.
Yes.
And no, it's a lot harder.
And one of the things that I wanted to mention is that coachability is key in my industry.
Oh, yeah,
So
you got to be coachable.
you got to be coachable. So I end up, because we do some work on the front end to identify their coachability, I don't run into a lot of issues, because these are people who are actually hungry. They want the information. They want to remove the barriers. They want to know what their blind spots are and what their gaps are, and they want to close them.
How many people out there, either you or you know someone who's really tired of being in that same doldrum position that you're in? Whether you are working somewhere right now and you hate it, maybe you found out that you really need to go back to work, maybe financially, things like that happen. Maybe you haven't been able to get a job for a long time because, the world is different, and you have to know what to do, and helping them, especially through the process. I mean, my daughters, one of them is 21, and even she sometimes find it very hard to, get through the process of the being online kind of thing. And she'll say, I didn't realize doing this would be so hard.
Yes.
And yes, it is. And that's why having someone like Vicki help you is phenomenal, to be able to have that. And she's offering you a 1-hour coaching session. That's a $100 value, free to you. Our number here, 602-277-5369. So let me ask you this. Advice for job seekers. What would they be? What would you advise people out there?
A couple different things. The first one would be keep your options open. I mentioned earlier that people don't realize that their skills are transferable to about 10 different types of roles in organizations.
Can you give them, before you say them more, one particular thing that pops out of your mind that the people don't realize that they might be good at that could transfer? Just one, just to give them something to think about that they might not realize. Go ahead.
Yeah, so administrative individuals maybe have worked as assistants in organizations. There's a new job called a virtual assistant, because there is so many online technological challenges within companies now. Companies need individuals who can be their virtual assistants, and it may offer flexibilities that you're not even expecting. You could work at home.
It's virtual, so you can work anywhere in your pajamas.
That's right. That's right. That's one example. Yes.
That's awesome. So you see, that was perfect. That's a perfect example. Okay, what else would be? We have a minute to go. So what would your advice be?
My biggest piece of advice would be to always demonstrate your skills in action. So whether you work for a company and you are trying to be promoted within that company, if relationship building is important in that company, make sure you make people feel comfortable around you and that you're easy to talk to. If you're an applicant and you know that it takes that same skill set to get the job that you're applying for, in the interview, be personable, be comfortable, make it a two-way conversation. Don't be stressed out. So that way, when that person walks away, they'll say, wow, we need a relationship builder. And that person made me feel so comfortable in the interview process.
There's a lot of things she can help you with. Again, it is VickiPullieStokes.com, or call in here and get this 1 hour free coaching session, 602-277-5369.